Hello. So maybe a year or two ago, saw a video someone posted of squirrels. They were having trouble with squirrels getting in their bird feeder, so they took measures to prevent this. And then they got curious about how far squirrels would go to get food. So they set up this little obstacle course in their backyard. And there are 5 or 6 stations, and the squirrels had to go through challenges. It was said, they could only reach the first one. They greased the pole so they couldn't climb them to get the other ones. So they get to the first one, they go through a challenge, and from there they could jump to the second one. And the idea was to get around to where there were some peanuts waiting for them. And only way to get to the peanuts was to go through all these challenges. Now, the amazing thing was, it took the squirrels almost no time at all to realize this is the path to the peanuts. It's like, there's some peanuts, okay, I gotta go around here and do these 5 or 6 challenges. So the squirrels have that going for them. They're smarter than they look. Now there's some other things going on here. Like one of the challenges, you have to run around this little, over and under these pegs or something weird like that. And the squirrels are like, nah, we're not even going to bother going through all that. They found a quick workaround to just ignore that one almost altogether. So they still went to that platform, but they ignored the challenge. They just went around it somehow in a way that the guy who set it up didn't expect them to. There was another one. This was sort of the stupidest challenge ever. Basically, the guy put a stuffed squirrel, I don't know, not quite taxidermy, not quite stuffed animal. It's sort of a had squirrel-like qualities, but didn't look like a real squirrel. And the idea was the squirrel steps on a pressure plate of some sort, turns and sees this other squirrel, and is it going to be distracted because 3 seconds after he steps on this pressure plate, something knocks him off, and then he has to go back and start the whole challenge again, or go back to the first challenge and start all over again. And the squirrels didn't fall for this at all. They just basically got to this one, stepped on the plate, jumped over to the next challenge. Weren't fooled by the fake squirrel. I think one squirrel, something sticky got on there, something like just a little sap or something, and so one squirrel stopped, licked the platform and got knocked off. But beyond that, they didn't fall for the fake squirrel. So again, didn't look like a real squirrel, so I think the guy who did it, the guy who set it all up, I think that was more a comic thing than anything else, because no one would have expected a squirrel to really fall for this decoy. But anyhow, as it's going on, the guy named the squirrels. And he's doing comments, showing different videos of them going through it, and here's, this squirrel, and now he only had 3 squirrels. That must be nice. Only have so little squirrels that you can recognize them by sight and give them names. Now every time I look out the window, there's 8 to 12 squirrels running around. I don't know how many because they're all in motion. I can't even tell you how many squirrels there are because they're constantly in motion. Much less recognize them long enough to give them names. So the guy had that going for him, was that he only had 3 squirrels. Squirrels are a lot cuter when there's only 3 of them. When you get 8 to 12 running around, now they become a nuisance. So last fall, I built a trellis and put it out in my garden so that I'll have, it'll be ready to plant this summer and or this spring. And it's out by the garage. So recently I've been seeing squirrels running around on my garage roof, which I hadn't seen in the past. Because basically there's this big trellis there, and they can climb up the trellis and get on the garage roof. Now that said, they'll run to the, it's on the far end of the roof. They'll run to the near end, look around, and I've seen squirrels climbing down, head first straight down the garage cinder block here. So they're climbing down stone. I've never seen this before. Now, doing a little internet search, apparently it's not unusual for squirrels to go up and down stone when they have to. We've got all sorts of trees and wooden fences and all sorts of things that are easier for them to grip and climb up. But now they've realized, oh, we can go up and down this. Because a few days later, I looked and there's one going up the side of the wall. Don't have to. Again, there's plenty of wood for them to climb on, but shortcut. We can climb up this stone wall. Never thought of it before, but we can do it now. So the squirrels are learning. Now the trellis I made out of PVC pipe, and again, nothing quite for them to grip when they climb or go up or down, but it's thin. It's half-inch pipe, so plenty of stuff for them to climb on. They can't sink their claws into it to get a grip, but they can balance on it. That wasn't surprising when I saw that part. But seeing them go up the stone wall, and yeah, it's cinder block. It's not smooth, so there's stuff for them to get their claws into. But now I'm worried. They've learned a new trick. Now, you see old TV, squirrels running up people's pants legs. You see that on old TV shows. And old TV shows, they run up and they just sort of circle around, and the guy laughs because he's got a squirrel in his pants and it's tickling him. Now modern day movies, it seems like every year there's at least one movie where a squirrel goes up someone's pant legs and bites him in the acorns. Either case here, like I said, I've seen these squirrels going up and down my garage wall. I know they're gripping it with their claws. You're not going to laugh when the squirrel goes up your pants leg. You're going to be screaming in pain as he claws his way up your leg. Now, in reality, squirrels don't do this that often. Even when they attack someone, they're more likely to go up the outside of the pants leg than the inside, just because it's easier for them. I did look this up, and very rarely will squirrels go up people's pants legs, only if they really have to. And they'll only do this if they're attacking the person. You do something stupid enough to get a squirrel to attack you, it'll climb up you and start clawing at you. That's what squirrels do. There is one exception to this rule, and that is baby squirrels will sometimes do it. And that is, according to one site, if a baby squirrel is orphaned or abandoned, then it will approach a human, and yet it's seeking food and warmth. And so there's this person here, so it might go up your pants leg a little bit just because it's trying to stay warm. Or is that what they want us to believe? I think these are little reconnaissance squirrels, because like I said, the squirrels are getting smarter. So we're sending out this little test squirrel to see how the human reacts to it. Are the humans ready for us to attack them yet? And the answer is, yes, we're getting there. Now, I come home from work sometimes, or come home, and I'll find peanut shells in my driveway. I didn't put that there. I don't think the neighbors did that. A squirrel most likely carried it there. And I'm beginning to wonder, why are there empty peanut shells laying around for the squirrels anyway? And the answer is there aren't. Someone's putting out peanuts for the squirrels. Someone is feeding the squirrels. Why? Now the squirrels associated with us with food now. Never a good thing when animals associate you with food. Now, speaking of this obstacle course, my sister once told me she strung a bungee cord between two trees, and then about halfway along it she strung another one down towards the ground and tied a ear of dried corn to it. Squirrels like dried corn, they'll eat it. And then she put some bells on it, just so they could hear the bells ring when the squirrels go after the corn, and they can watch the squirrel trying to balance on this bungee cord and watch it get thrown right. And my sister's cruel like that, but eventually the squirrels stopped trying to climb down to get the corn. They would tight rope across, get to the center, and instead of trying to climb down, they hand over hand pulled the corn up toward them because the squirrels are getting smarter. So, yes, the big squirrel rebellion is going to come when the squirrels get smart enough, and they are doing that. We are everything we think is cute about squirrels is actually them learning how to overthrow us. So that's it. Just wanted to warn you all, beware of the big squirrel rebellion, and maybe leaving some nuts out for them just so they'll think you're a friend and they'll make you a servant instead of just killing you is a good idea. I don't know. Anyway, have a nice day and beware of the squirrels.